Hi folks, I am an Executive Chef Robert LaFerge from Stafford's Weathervane restaurant in Charlevoix. I am preparing for you today a beef tenderloin Forestier with fingerling potatoes and fresh asparagus. We have an 8-ounce center cut filet. Cut the 8-ounce filet in half. We'll set that aside. Now what I have also is shiitake mushrooms, cremini mushrooms, and button mushrooms. For a side dish, we're using fingerling potatoes. We're also using fresh asparagus. For preparation of this dish, we take our steak. The key to a good steak is the seasoning. And we season both sides of our 4-ounce fillets, and we make sure we get it evenly across both sides. We start with a hot saute pan, about a teaspoon of olive oil. Drop our steak in the pan. Now about 4 minutes on each side. We'll bring it to a medium temperature. Now while that's cooking, I'm going to start my fingerling potatoes. Now we want just a golden brown color on our fingerling potatoes, so we want them about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Flip our steak over. Now the seasoning for our potatoes will be just a little salt and fresh cracked black pepper. And we put a little bit of cold butter just to add a little extra flavor. Pull it off the heat. Blend the butter in there. Then we put a little bit of fresh chives. We'll set those aside for service. Now our pan-seared tenderloin is done. Set it off to the side. Now in that same pan, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing the juices off of that steak. And we'll put our mushrooms, which we've sliced, in first. A little bit of shallots. A little bit of fresh minced garlic, a little salt, fresh cracked pepper. And then we deglaze the pan with a little bit of white wine. Now what that wine is doing is that's pulling all the juices off the bottom of that pan, and that's adding flavor to everything in the pan. We let that saute for approximately 3 minutes, just until the wine starts to reduce down. You want almost all of the liquid gone. And then to finish the sauce, we take cold, unsalted butter, turn the heat off on our saute pan, add the cold butter right to it. What's going to happen is the wine's going to blend with the cold butter, and it's going to make a saucy texture. The key is to pull it off the heat, so that way the butter doesn't break or separate, and it actually makes a nice pan sauce out of the wine and the butter. And all the garlic and the shallots and the mushrooms. And that's our Forestier sauce. Now for the vegetable, we're doing a little sauteed asparagus, which we're going to use cold butter in a hot saute pan. Now what we've done ahead of time is we've blanched our asparagus, and we take a few spears of those, toss it in a little bit of butter, salt and pepper, a little bit of fresh minced garlic. Toss that around a little bit. And there's our fresh asparagus. There we have our beef tenderloin Forestier from Stafford's Weathervane restaurant in Charlevoix.